Stone Age level of awareness. You imagine what is possible at the cutting edge of the secret projects, and even beyond that in the realms of the non-human levels of this. And they have, without question, the ability to create artificial intelligence that looks to in the decoded world, because I'm decoding you now, what you are is a vibrational field. So if you can create a vibrational field with artificial intelligence that is vibrating externally in the same form, range that a human body is, because basically it's a biological computer human body, but what's animating it is different to what animates us, then I'm going to decode you, or I'm going to decode this artificial intelligence, just like the lady in the red dress in the Matrix movie.
Exactly.
And she's going to look just like you and me. And I remember being in that ayahuasca state in 2003, and that female voice said to me, if you programmed a computer to abuse a child, would the computer have any emotional consequence for that, any emotional reaction? None. It would just do what it's programmed to do. And one of the most blatant things about these Illuminati bloodlines is they have no empathy. They have no ability to empathize with the consequences for others of their actions. That's why there are no limits. You know, pepper bombing Baghdad, to us, horrific, terrific emotional consequence. To them, nothing, just like a computer. And they are like computers. And to a large extent, that's why they are, some of them are so bright. You know, my computer on my desk can work things out quicker than I can in some areas where it's just, you know, working out to a program. It has no wisdom, it has no empathy, it has no heart or consciousness, but on a mental level it can work very quickly. And these people are very sharp mentally, there's no doubt about it. Some of these people are very sharp mentally, but they have no heart, no balancing qualities of consciousness. I'm convinced they're artificial intelligence. And when I look at someone like Kissinger, I mean, I see an artificial intelligence that has been created by a very, very advanced knowledge, and it looks just like you and me because that's the way we decode it, you know. And well, you know, again, Bill, when you're talking about the rituals and what have you, what are the rituals doing? It's all about creating a vibrational field. They're creating an energetic environment that allows these interdimensional entities to move into this dimension, at least briefly. And what they're also doing is accessing, through these rituals, the vibrational level of reality, which is the prime level of reality which we decoded to this. So what they're doing on one level with these rituals, which they often do at vortex points, which are very powerful in affecting the vibrational state of the planet, and the lines of communication lines, that like meridian lines that we have in the body, the planet has. If they do a ritual where a lot of these lines meet, then the vibrational effect of that ritual is going out down these lines, and they're affecting us, because we're being affected by that vibrational level, that prime level. So I'm no doubt at all they've got technology too that is creating disharmony within the vibrational level of this reality, which then will create disharmony here, you know. And the thing is, though, I remember this that scene in the Matrix, because people read things in different ways. I read Neo's journey as becoming conscious. I mean, I think that's probably what they meant, but that's the way I read it very powerfully. And there was a point where he's in a simulation with the Morpheus character, and Morpheus is explaining about the agents. Now, for agents, read people that you're talking about that have the ability to do incredible things within this reality, because they understand how it works and they keep it from the people. Right. And people who watch The Matrix will remember the scene, because the Agent Smith, is in freeze frame in this thing with a gun. And the Morpheus character says to Neo, people have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. But their strength and their speed is still based on a world based on rules. And because of that, they can never be as fast or as strong as you can be.
Right.
Because within this virtual reality, there are rules to the game. Some of them are called laws of physics and such like. Consciousness overcomes those laws, does not recognize them, is not entrapped by them. So as we become conscious, we move beyond the box that the controlling force is actually in. Because during my talks, I put two boxes. One's got symbolically a reptilian on it, and a smaller one's got humans on it. Mm-hmm. What they've done, and the whole foundation of how it's been possible, because they're in a box, otherwise they won't be doing what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And if they're artificial intelligence, they're obviously in a box with a lid on that doesn't open. But they've managed to control human society by putting humans in a smaller box than they're in. Again, we come back, symbolic of the box, they're holding the ball on the bottom of the tank. Mm. As we become conscious, we go beyond their potential. Mm. And that's what they're terrified of.
Let me tell the story about Bill Burns and Admiral George Hoover. Don't know if you've heard this one, but we'd love to tell this one on camera. Okay. Bill Burns, Los Angeles-based editor of UFO magazine, talked to Admiral George Hoover from the Office of Naval Intelligence before he died, when he was an elderly man, and he had one of these turnaround experiences when he was very old, and he started to talk to Bill Burns about what was really going on. And Bill Burns wanted to know about things like the Roswell crash, right. all of this stuff. And one of the things that George Hoover told Bill Burns was that the Roswell crash, the visitors there were time travelers, there were us from the future, time-traveling future humans, which we've heard from other sources as well. And the most important thing, though, the biggest secret, was how powerful we are, the consciousness we have, the ability that we have. And Bill Burns' words from George Hoover was our ability to manipulate the consciousness around us. And if we started to do that, as far as the controllers were concerned, we would create havoc. And this is what must not be known. It must not be known how powerful we are. Because the time-traveling future humans use their consciousness in order to bridge these dimensions. And what these discs are, according to Hoover, and also according to Philip Corso, who wrote The Day After Roswell, was that they're amplifiers and focusing devices of consciousness, and the pilots are an integral part of the machine. And as any quantum physicist will tell you, its consciousness actually has the ability to determine whether Schrödinger's cat is alive or dead, whether to determine probabilistic quantum outcomes, to actually influence reality. You can't do quantum physics without taking account of consciousness. And therefore this means if you have a very high control and ability in that realm, it sort of bridges mind and consciousness. Then, just as great adepts are said to be able to do, you can bilocate. So, okay, so we'll do it all together, we'll do it in a craft, it'll help us, it'll amplify us, and this is what the crafts are. And this is why they were baffled when they opened up these things. They couldn't find an engine.
That female voice in the ayahuasca experience said to me, why do you fly in a plane when you're only flying through yourself? Right?
Exactly.
And what came to mind when you were talking there, Bill, was the carry-on of that scene in The Matrix with the Agent Smith, where we're saying, never be as strong and fast as you can be. And then the Neo character says, do you mean I'll be able to dodge bullets? No, Neo. When you're ready, you won't have to. Mm. Controlling your experience.
Yes.
You know, you're not going to have to dodge bullets. You're going to make sure no one ever shoots at you.
You want in a position where you have to dodge bullets. Yeah.
And you know, people have said to me so many times over the years, right from the early days, why aren't you dead? And it may sound, I can only say what I know deep inside. They can't. If we were coming to do something and all it took was for someone to shoot a bullet and it's all over, what's the point? They can't. What I would say very strongly, and it's coming more and more into my life, there is an X factor which I don't understand yet, but I sure as hell know is there. And it's an X factor which is going to bring an end to this childish playground nonsense of human control.
Do you mean an external influence?
There's something. I absolutely, at a deep level, I know it. Whenever I think about it, whenever I think about what I'm talking about now, what I see clearly is the planet with a cell prison around it, and a big lock and a key going in. And I'll tell you a funny story. Well, a funny story. I'll tell you a story.